And welcome back. First Tech Fund is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to breaking down barriers and empowering students of underserved backgrounds with technology access, as well as practical skills and opportunities to succeed in the modern world. Now, when the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic shook the world, First Tech Fund was born out of recognizing students without access to technology would fall even further behind as schools move towards online learning. And joining us now to share a little bit more about this is the CEO and co-founder of First Tech Fund, Josue De Paz. And we thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Listen, I really want to get to this issue about the digital divide because in the midst of COVID-19, I think that really became further exacerbated. But your organization really does a great job in trying to in trying to close that gap. So share with us a little bit about the work that's going on.
Yeah, so like you said, we started during the COVID-19 pandemic, and what we wanted to do was provide technology access, internet access to the many students in New York City who didn't have the ability to, sign into remote learning, and we didn't want our students to be falling behind. So our program provides a free computer for students as well as a hotspot with unlimited Wi-Fi. And students, once in our program, get weekly curriculum and are also paired with a mentor who works in a industry in which they express interest in.
Yeah, you talk about mentorship. I want to talk about that for a second because when you talk about that, really looking at how a student can progress and how somebody can get a better skill set, mentorship is key and critical. And give me a little bit about how mentors play an important role in what you do.
Yeah, I think it's really important as a young student to have role models and folks that you can go to for support. This year, we saw our mentors support our students on college applications. And through that, we actually saw 23 of our 24 students who were eligible for college enroll in schools like Columbia, like NYU, like Fordham. So it was really exciting to see the impact that mentorship had on students when they had questions about school or college apps or anything else during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah. How about for students that you had? When you look at what's going on now, every student almost had to have some sort of technology in the home, and including good internet access. We saw schools rushing to get the necessary devices back to students so that way they could be able to continue in their learning. What can you tell us about the people that you encountered and their access to technology?
Yeah, a lot of our students, were living in situations where they didn't have access to a computer, or they had siblings who needed the computer, and they sacrificed their own, time in education to make sure that their siblings got what they needed. So we had many students doing homework on their phones or going to neighbors' houses. And so by providing them the technology, we empowered them to do better in school, to go to class more often, to get their assignments in on time. And that really made a difference. We had a student from the Bronx named Aaron who had honors this entire year for the first time because he had access to all these things.
Was it new for you in terms of a revelation that so many students were challenged in the area of access?
No, I think the digital divide has existed for a long time, right? It's something that we've been talking about ever since I was in school, right? I was in the second and third grade and people were talking about it. And that was many, many moons ago. So I think it's an issue that's always existed, but it has been exacerbated by COVID-19. And I think an issue that will continue to exist even after the pandemic. So we are wanting to grow and scale as much as possible. And this year we grew from 52 spots in the program to 85 in the upcoming school year.
Wow. And speaking of the word program, I know also you have a fellowship program, and that's really been key and critical for you guys in terms of advancing students to the next level. How does the fellowship program work?
Yeah, so once the students apply, our application is currently open until August 2nd. The students are put into our fellowship program. They get that laptop, they get the internet access, they get the mentor, but they also get exposure to virtual programming that focuses on building skills. So financial literacy, public speaking, resume building, And then they also get access to career advice and career panels about law, healthcare, finance, social impact, government, to expose them to the different careers that are out there so they can know and understand what they can do with their futures.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, pretty amazing. And what's it like for you? I mean, given the fact that things pretty much ramped up for you during COVID as an organization, how have you met the challenges?
Yeah, I actually I was laid off during COVID-19, and so this organization, it just was something I wanted to do for my community. I myself, saw my mom work 2 to 3 jobs for me to have access to internet in my home, and so I was really grateful for that sacrifice that she made. That internet access, that computer in my home led to me getting a full ride scholarship to college, right? And
Mhm.
I can see that clearly. So I knew that I wanted to do that for others. And even though it was hard during the pandemic, I think it was a worthwhile thing that we focused on, and I'm very happy with the results so far.
Yeah. And before I let you go, I know you've got a deadline coming up on August the 2nd, and share with people who may want to be interested in taking part what August the 2nd means.
Yeah, so we're looking for our next cohort of students, rising ninth graders through 12th graders. The only requirement is that they go to school in New York City full time. There's no immigration requirement. There's no other requirement at all. So we'd encourage students to apply. We'd love to have them as part of our program.
Josue, thank you so much for being with us here on Open. Certainly glad to have you and the great work that you continue to do in making children's lives better in technology and also access. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, I'll let you know if you want more information, please visit their website, firsttechfund.com, and then follow them also on social media at First Tech Fund. I'm Daren Jaime, and guess what? We will have more Open coming up right after this.